Hello there! Welcome back to our sensory series, where we talk about how our major human senses are developed, how they function, and some interesting and extreme adaptations in the animal kingdom. Did you know that the most distantly related animals that share our olfactory receptors are known as lancelets? Lancelets split from our ancestors around 700 million years ago, not long before the brain and the eyes evolved. Lancelets are basically a nose, with receptors spread all along their flanks. They would eventually evolve into fish. Fish smell by picking up compounds in the water that passes through their nose as they swim. Eventually, mammals would evolve to collect airborne compounds in a similar fashion. Comparison to other mammals, such as mice, who have roughly 1,100 active genes for olfactory receptors, humans have only 350 functional genes. There are a lot of pseudogenetic sequences, which suggests that olfaction grew less significant over time. According to recent research, more than 70% of the olfactory receptors encoding genes in humans are pseudogenes, compared to fewer than 5% in rats or primates in the past. This does not mean that smell has gotten worse. With walking upright, the nose was further from the ground, making the sense more pure, which allowed the brain's area for smells to shrink, without sacrificing many of its functions. But how does smell work? When food is being cooked and coffee is brewing, molecules enter the nose and send a signal up the olfactory neuron to the brain where it is identified. The areas of the brain that receive these signals also perform other functions, such as memory storage and emotion. As a result, certain scents might recall memories from the past. Smell is mainly used for three things: food, recognizing family and mates, and alerting one to danger. Firstly, food. Our perception and enjoyment of the taste, or rather flavor, of food and drink is heavily influenced by olfactory signals. 75 to 95% of what we perceive as taste is actually sent through the nose's olfactory receptors. The sense of smell evolved to alert people to the off-putting smell of rotten and spoiled foods, allowing us to make better and safer food choices. The sense of smell helps defensive eating and works as a brake to keep us from consuming potentially harmful foods. You're accurate in thinking that if something smells bad, it's preferable not to eat it. Family and mates. Researchers from McGill University in Canada used neuroimaging to show that smelling the body odor of a close relative stimulates the dorsomedial prefrontal cortex, a portion of the brain involved for recognizing family. That's why it's much safer to buy perfume and cologne for family members rather than outsiders. Inhaling someone's body odor can reveal more about them than their emotional state. The opposite sex's health and biological compatibility may also be gathered, all to aid in the selection of the ideal mate. During pregnancy, the olfactory receptors are rewired to distinguish children. By sniffing their biological babies, new mothers can tell them apart. Studies suggest that even though mother and child were separated for the majority of the time, moms were able to distinguish their child's scent from that of two other babies 6 hours after birth. Even with their developing olfactory senses, babies can detect their mother's scent, even if it is subconsciously. According to research, by the second day of life, newborns recognize mom's smell. Breastfed newborns incline their heads towards their mother's fragrance pads for nearly twice as long as strangers' scent pads. Humans and other mammals' existence depends on our ability to detect and react to the smell of a possible threat. Researchers have been able to analyze what happens in the brain when the central nervous system interprets a smell as a threat. According to the study, negative odors associated with discomfort or uneasiness are processed earlier than pleasant odors and cause a bodily avoidance response. According to a new study, Humans can smell fear and disgust, and the feelings are contagious. The findings, which were published in the journal Psychological Science, show that humans, like other animals, communicate through smell. Because humans lack the same odor sensing organs as other animals, researchers assumed we had lost our ability to detect fear or other emotions long ago. Next, let's look at some unusual examples of smell from the animal kingdom and beyond. Firstly, dogs. We all know how powerful a dog's sense of smell is. In their noses, they have up to 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to roughly 6 million in humans. Dogs have been trained to help people with a wide range of medical conditions, from blindness to mobility problems. As a result, there are a lot of service dogs all around the world. Certainly, having butterflies on a list about amazing animals that can smell seems a little odd, but the most essential sense for butterflies is smell, which is detected by sensors on their antennae. Did you know that butterflies can smell age? Olfaction is a fundamental means of communication for butterflies, and it plays a significant role in sexual selection. Female butterflies prefer to mate with middle-aged males rather than younger men. When courting, male butterflies of various ages exhibit a slight absolute but big relative change in one specific pheromone component. Female butterflies can determine and select the age of the male butterfly by smelling the pheromone component in the males. The olfactory signal contains surprisingly sophisticated information, which is employed for sexual selection. Butterflies' olfactory signal is one of the few in the animal kingdom that carries a significant quantity of complex information that is used in sexual selection. When it comes to the sense of smell, animals and humans are always mentioned. However, did you know that plants have a sense of smell as well? Plants, unlike humans and other creatures, do not need noses to smell. It's in their genes to be able to do so. The first stages in how odor molecules alter gene expression in plants have been uncovered by researchers. Manipulation of odor detecting systems in plants could lead to new strategies to influence plant behavior. According to findings from the University of Tokyo, plants detect a class of odor molecules known as volatile organic compounds, which are vital for many plant survival strategies, including attracting birds and bees, discouraging pests, and reacting to disease in surrounding plants. These molecules are also responsible for essential oils' particular smells. According to the researchers, plants react to scents more slowly than animals since they can't run away. Tobacco cells and 4-week-old tobacco plants were subjected to various volatile organic compounds in the study. Alright, that's all we've got for today. I hope you enjoyed our topic about the sense of smell, even though it was once regarded as less significant in the 5 major senses. It has since evolved and developed to the point that it is now essential for the survival of many creatures, including plants. As always, thank you for tuning in, and see you again on the next video. Take care!